Hi, my name is Glenn Gross and I'm the owner of Safeway Electric. And I get phone calls throughout the week on how to reset a circuit breaker. And welcome to my training room. And what I've done today is I've went ahead and I prepared a circuit today with a short on it. Now a circuit breaker will trip for a couple of reasons. Either there's an overload on the circuit, there's a short on the circuit, or maybe the circuit breaker is just mechanically weak. Okay, so before resetting a circuit breaker, because we don't know why it tripped in most cases, so we definitely want to make sure that there's no short on the circuit. A short is when the hot wire, the wire with the power, comes in contact either with the neutral or the ground wire. And when this circuit breaker senses that short circuit, believe it or not, there's actually like a mini explosion, like a big old flash that occurs when the wires touch each other. So today we're going to be able to see that on some video where the wires come in contact with each other, and then when the power is on, it's going to show that big burst of flame. And I'm going to show you today on how to use your multimeter to check the circuit breaker that is tripped to see if there's a short circuit on it, or maybe it just tripped because there's a overload. So why don't we go ahead and do that now. Hopefully this video here saves you some time, saves you some money, and most of all, it prevents a fire in your house from resetting a circuit breaker that has a short on the circuit. Okay, so let's begin. We'll go over to the circuit breaker box here. We'll identify the breaker that is tripped. We'll remove the cover. We'll use the ohm meter to check for a short, and we'll proceed from there. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so here we are. We're looking inside the circuit breaker box here. We got the cover open, and we can see these circuit breakers here. The handles are in the on position, but this one here, we notice it's in the middle. It's not all the way over to the on position, nor is it all the way over to the off position. So here's the breaker that has tripped because there's a short on the circuit. So let's go ahead and remove this cover, and then we'll be able to test with the multimeter to see if there's actually a short on the circuit. Alright, so what we have here is we have the multimeter set up. We have it set up to generate a tone, checking for continuity. And we'll go ahead and we'll bring the test leads together. And looking at the display up here, when the wires touch, the meter is generating a tone. And if you look at the display, it says 0.0. That's like a perfect connection, okay? So that's when two wires come in contact with each other. There's no resistance. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and we're going to go inside the circuit breaker box here, and we're going to identify the circuit breaker that is tripped and see what the reading is. Alright, so here we are. We see that this is the circuit breaker that has tripped. So let's go ahead and put our test lead on this here circuit, like so. Then we'll take the other test lead and we'll go to the neutral and the ground bar. And boy, we hear that tone coming from the multimeter, and it's picking up 0.1 ohms. That's pretty much a direct short. So if we were to reset this circuit breaker, there would probably be like a mini explosion like I had said earlier. So let's go ahead and we'll put the camera over here on this connection where the wires have come in contact with each other, and we'll see what happens when we restore power to the circuit. Alright, so here we go. So what I've done here to prepare the room, I've shut the lights off. I got a camera set up to get real close. This camera set up to get the full effect, to see what happens when we restore the power to a circuit breaker that has a direct short on it. So are you ready? Here we go. Woohoo! Woohoo! almost caught the carpet on fire. Wow, so that's pretty crazy, huh? And just think, when you're out there at your circuit breaker box and you've got that short circuit going on and you're unaware of it and you're resetting that circuit breaker, that's exactly what's happening inside the device box. If the short is there, it could be somewhere on the wire in the attic, somewhere on the inside the wall. It's not necessarily all the time inside of a device box. So sparks are flying everywhere, and yes, it is responsible for catching homes on fire and getting wood to smolder. So anyway, hopefully you find this video was useful. Hopefully it's going to save your home from a disaster, and hopefully save you some time and money. So once again, thank you so much for spending time with me today in my training room, and we look forward to providing you with the very upfront, honest service.